happen. Week, week 5. Next week will be week 6. Your test 2 will be on Wednesday, 10 to our presentation on Thursday, right? Okay. So 10 to 12. Your project presentation will be on Thursday. So if it's rain like today, let's say maybe 9:30 is still raining, we will have class. Then the project presentation will be on Friday morning. Okay. So this one depend on weather. Okay. Friday is your project report due. Friday, I think in Canvas I put 11:59 p.m. Okay. Yeah. So make sure you already enroll into a certain group. When you report, please refer to your group in the Canvas. Okay. All right. So these are the due dates. I'm not sure whether you received the final exam date already. Yeah. Okay. So I haven't checked So have when is it? When is it? Your final? 26 July. Okay. So this is your final. Where is it? B something? Is it or okay, never mind. So your final will be on 26th of July. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So week 7, we'll do revision, or we have anything that we haven't conclude, or anything that we haven't covered, we'll do in week 7. Okay. So by week 7, you should already know your coursework, how many marks you get before this date. Okay. Again, this CLO 1, 2, 3, 4 is important. Is how we set the question. How we set the question. And as you can see in test 1, this module, we will focus on the keyword. If you do not mention a keyword, you're beating around the bush. You do not mention a keyword, there's no marks. So because this is a project management, we want to see whether you understand the principle, the model. Okay, today we'll focus on this one. For project scheduling, we already done. We already done the network. We already do the forward pass and backward pass. We already do the prediction of percentage of project success using the normal chart, normal curve to a statistic. So that one, right? So today we'll focus on cost. This one will go very fast. If we cannot finish, then we will do approach. Let's see how we do. Okay, I'll go very quick. Those information that you can read from the slides, I'll go very fast. There are lots of things here. I will focus on here. The rest you can read. You already have the textbook, so other information can refer to that. So when we talk about estimate, when you write the word estimate in the answer, it's not a blind luck, but it's a decision based on information. Okay. So you know about the stage gauge model. Again, I mentioned stage gauge model. Stage gauge model. At the gate, who make decision? Okay, who make the decision? There are 4 main characters in this module: customer, sponsor, PM, FM. Who make decision at the gate? Who make decision? What is the time now? Consider absent. Okay, so who make decision? Sponsor. Sponsor make decision at gate. What is your role if you're PM? Is to feed information for sponsor to make decision. What is the role of FM? They provide resources to PM. If got any conflict between these two guys, who solve? This guy. Who make the decision of project success or failure? This guy. If this guy say success, project success. If this guy say fail, then it fail. Okay, so these are the things that you should know. 4 types of decision: proceed without changes, proceed with changes. Third one, wait and hold and get more information. With this, you do estimation. Right? There's something wrong with your planning already. So wait and get more information. The last one is the hardest decision, which is cancel the projects. Okay. How you make estimation will be by these 4 typical estimating relationship. These are the 4 ways you get estimation. First, you use equation, like what you did in your engineering module, based on regression analysis. Okay, regression analysis. You have an R square value. Go and study what is R square value. Right? So R square value, if it's 0.999, it is very good. What does it mean? 0.999. Your estimation line is spot on in all the points there. Okay, if your estimation line in quadratic curve, all the dot is spot on, right? It might miss one, but most of the point is on the estimation line. Okay, the higher the better. If less than a certain value, it depends on the company or your team. Usually less than 80%, you need to reconsider. It's a very, very weak equation. So go and have a look how to do regression. Just look for information and understand. Cost and quality relationship from learning curve. So this one you plot your curve, your cost and quantity in your analysis. You look at cost versus cost relationship. So cost of one material, cost of project to a certain material. You compare material to material, cost by cost. Another one is cost to non-causes relationship. This one based on the performance and technical parameters. Technical parameters, performance characteristics. In your quiz 4, you should already have some rough idea what is technical parameter, what is engineering parameter, and so on. Okay, if you've done your quiz 5, quiz 4. So read through. It will help you to have ideas how to ask you to design a projects. You have some right idea where to start, how to start, or what is expected to do. Okay, so these are the 4 main things when you do cost estimation. Relationship, we use equation, cost quantity, cost, and cost non-cost relationship. So this one might be come out in the part A. Part A, like question something, like question 1, part A, more on the theory one. You just need to elaborate lah. So the question might ask you, it will say something about cost estimation relationship. Then it asks you to explain what are the typical CR might be. Give 4 models. If the question is so kind, you will mention 4 models or 4 possible ways of estimating or doing a CER. So you write 1, then you elaborate on this one. one line. 2, this one. 3, this one. 4, this one. Right? Okay, one line. Don't use dot. Use one, then what? Okay, so when you explain this one, example what? Example. After this one, example what? 2, this one, example what? Cost relationship, what? Example. Cost, non-cost. You mention this one, then what example? Okay. So if you only have mentioned this one, usually if this question come out, the expected answer will be four answer here. Each one will be 2 marks. So if you only mention this one, you only score 1 marks without elaboration. If you elaborate, you add example, then you have a full mark of 2 marks each. You have 8 marks. So by looking at the total score below the question, you roughly you know how many answer we expected. Okay. So you have this table. Every time you see table is important. All right. Of course, I won't go through every line. You just go and read. So there are 2 types of acquisition, type 1 and type 2. So type 1, one of the kind project with little no follow-up business. So this one, you do all these things. Type 2 is a new project with large follow-up for large follow-on business or representing a desired penetration in new markets. So you either have one on the left or right. Left one is very, very matured market already. Let's say top glove. You only need to focus on the glove markets. This one, new markets, I don't know, maybe same top glove business, but he want to go into use some new product using glove or something, right? So example, condom, all these things, right? So glove can change into condom. Condom have many types, for example lah. Okay. Okay. So this one you read through. Okay. Okay. So to save time, company usually start with 3 approach: parametrics estimation. This one is equation. Analogy estimation is you compare. Analogy, you compare features to features. Adjust cost based upon the changes of degree of difficulties. So these features to features, for example, construction projects, right? So those premium, for example, you build a hotel. So there will be a presidential suite. There will be a normal double bed room. So the features will be different. So the features will be different. Or a company, a hotel to another hotel. So like 3-star hotel, 4-star hotel, 5-star hotel. There will be different features. Okay, parameter, this one based on statistic data. Expert judgment, this one you interview or get know your interview lah. Okay. So if you come in class after 30 minutes, consider absent. Take note if you're international student, your student visa might void. Don't come to me and cry. Okay, I'm very strict in your attendance. I won't adjust one. You absent, you absent. Okay. Okay, this one. Read. First type estimate is order analysis. So this one, degree of magnitude analysis may have accuracy of plus 35%. This is the first type. First type estimate, if it's around 35%, then it fall on the first type estimate. This one you read lah. This one you read. Order of magnitude, you have all these things. This one you read lah. Estimate, prorated. Okay, the word prorated, what I mean by prorated? The word prorated is a industry word. is a pro and rate. Prorated, it means, for example, you work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Your daily salary, let's say, is 100 ringgit per day. So here to here, and there's a lunch break here. So here got 4 hours, here got 4 hours, let's say. So 100 ringgit per day, in other means, in HR terms, is 100 ringgit per 8 hours per day. So if you use calculator, how many hours per hour? Press calculator a bit. 12 12.5, 12 ringgit 50 cent per hour. Okay. Now, what I mean by prorated? Prorated means if on that day you come late, in the work, you report after maybe 1 p.m. This one you went missing. Maybe you have emergencies, all these things, right? So let's say you emergency in the morning until you go and sort out, maybe your family have issue or your car broke down on the way, right? You cannot come. So your prorated salary will be based on this calculation. Means they don't pay you 100 ringgit per day. They will pay you by taking 12 ringgit 50 cent multiply by the hours you in the office. So the day the salary for that day, if you come in the office 4 hours, you multiply by 4 lah. 50 ringgit is it? So your salary will be 50 ringgit for that day. This is prorated, for example, right? So sometimes it can be applied the same principle in penalty. So they will say, if you late for 1 day, how many money you need to pay, for example. So it prorated, something like prorated. It means you have an equation to calculate the rate, the losses or the penalty, all these things. This one, all theories you read. Yeah. Okay, for example, learning curve, what are the learning curve, all these things. This one you just read through. I won't ask you. Okay. This is important. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of estimate based on their accuracy. The first one will be 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, and more than 600%. Okay. So this is for construction. Construction. Apply for construction. So this one you read. So for example, under normal class, for example, class 1, everything also need to do. Checklist for this one. So as you can see, the last one, he only need to have only maybe 4 items there. So that's why the error is big at the last type of the estimate. Okay. So it's a long table. It's a long table. This one you read. This one you read. Labor rate. This one, this word in project management. Labor rate, they are known with certainly over a 12-month period, but from then on are only estimates. So this one, labor rates, they only active valid for 12 months. Okay, if you use the labor rates. So for the next year or next cycle, you need to reevaluate the rate that you put in your calculation. Something like that. Huh? This one you read through. Okay, this one you read through. Okay, there are two different words here. One is overhead. Overhead is ongoing business expenses that cannot be directly attributed to a specific activities. For example, admin, insurance, rental, all these things. Right? Overhead rate is a cost allocated to a production of a product or services. This is called overhead. It can be product, it can be services. Overhead rate, it can be a product, it can be services. Services, it can be expert consultancy. Fees, it can be operator, how many hours you pay for that operator. Okay. Product, it can be a rental of equipment and so on. You call overhead rate. This one you read, This one you read. This one a lot, just read through this one for the information. Okay. This one, need to pay attention a bit. This one is how you do pricing techniques, logical pricing, how you come up with the final price. There are 13 steps. Okay, there are 13 steps. So pay attention to this one, because this one you can write. We can ask you 13 steps. Every step 1 mark, so 13 marks. Like that. Okay, so I try to explain the way we ask you questions so that you will know how to prepare for the assessment. Okay, so there are 13 steps. So you read lah. So first, work requirement, you check what customer want. Then you go for a logic network checkpoint. Logic network means the one that you learn in your time estimation and all these things. What phrase comes first, what activity comes first, and so on. Okay. So from here, you know the minimum time you need to negotiate with the customers already, the critical path. Okay. Step 3, you work on the breakdowns, structures. Then you price out the work breakdown structures. All these are on this one. Okay. And so on. Yeah, 13 step now. Okay. There's one part, WBS, that I just mentioned in the slide just now. I just flipped through very fast. WBS is the work-based something. I forgot it. Work-based something. Right? Okay. This one also some very specific answer that you can answer. For example, a typical pricing report, what kind of report that you can generate in when you price out the work? How many types of pricing report that you can, this one. Okay, so this one the question can either give you freedom to choose. So as on the screen here, you see 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 types of pricing reports. The question might give you freedom. From these 8, it asks you to answer 4. Means you explain 4 types of typical pricing report. Then you mention, You memorize 4, then you put in. Some question, if very specific, it will ask you to explain 4. 4 from here. Yeah, there are two kind of question we can ask you. One, we give you freedom to write any 4 that you can remember, or the question can be very specific to mention. Maybe you pick 1, 3, 5, 7, then you explain what is this report about. Okay, so there are 2 types, but this one is part of the question that we can consider for your final exam or final exam. That's what I already said. So later I'll let you know what's going to come out. Okay. So this is a sketch or a draft curve when you're managing your projects. So for example, you x-axis is the month from December to January. It's about 12 months. So manpower in man months. So you can see there's a fluctuation of the number of mans that you need for these projects. Sometimes you need 20, maybe 22. Sometimes you need 18, and so on. Okay. So what you do is that there are projected manpower. Okay. So this one project manpower is given by department, where you get this information from the functional managers. This info you get from functional managers. So you smooth out. You smooth out with this one. You take the average. Okay. You take the average. So when you manage the project, there is a benchmark for you. Let's say in this case, you know that you need roughly 20 mans every month, roughly. So in the HR, you need to inform your HR, please make sure 20 manpower I have in these projects. Okay. Now, for example, January, the total staff estimate by your functional managers will be 22, maybe. So you are lack of 2 staff in January. What you do, you need to discuss with the functional managers so that he stand by or allocate the work accordingly. Like maybe January, 2 staff maybe need to do 2 tasks. Because in your estimate, you level out 20 manpower for these projects. Then there will be very relaxing months in, sorry. Just now I mentioned January, right? January is less than 20, sorry. So from you can see here, January to March are actually very relaxing if you provide 20 guys. So some of your colleagues, they will feel very relaxed because the task will allocate for 20 men. But within this January to March, the workload is about 18 guys. So some of the works is very easy. However, when it comes to peak, this one, from March to May, it shoot up to 30. Means it's roughly like 1 man have to do extra 0.5 load work. So this month, you need to do your communication skill very well, coordinating work very well, make sure people happy, buy them things, buy them coffee or things, or come up with a reward system, OT system, how you pay the staff, something like that. Okay, then you will drop after June to September. The staff will be very relaxed, maybe because if in the manufacturing, maybe the sales for the season product is not there. For example, you're making a sport products, so some of the product is seasonal, like for example those winter coats and all these things, they are seasonal, right? So these are the things that you can do lah. Okay, this one you read. Okay. Okay, so just now, WBS. WBS is, this is WBS, work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure. Level 1 in WBS, level 3, they consider management level. 4, 5, 6, they consider technical level. So description, level 1, we only look at total program or total program is program consists of many projects. Okay, program can be, for example, EV cars, right? So you want to make one new EV cars. Then you split your EV cars into different small projects. Like some team they work on the chassis, some work on the batteries, some work on the other accessories, wiring and all these things. So this one, then you go into tasks. Task is very, very detailed things you need to do. Then technical value is from this task, subtask, work package and level and effort. This one. Okay. Usually at level 6, they are operators lah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So these are the things. So if you look back these slides, WBS and their accuracy. So level, the higher you go, accuracy will be higher. No, the accuracy will be lower. Understand? Means at higher level, let's say you are level 1, you doesn't care about what kind of screw you are using. For example, right? So let's say you are the director or you are the CEO at level 1. You are at level 1, you are the management level. And you are making EVs cars. At your level, it doesn't care how many voltage come out from the car. You don't care. You only need to make sure the costing is there, the delivery date is there, who are our customers, the correct market segment, and all these things. So as you move down to a lower level, then it will be very, very focused, specific work. That's why you see the accuracy is increasing when it come to a lower level. Let's say WBS level 5, the accuracy will be only can play around 2%. Be very, very accurate. Like for example, the diameter of the wire, you cannot simply use and so all these things. Okay, so low risk and high risk, there is a difference, but actually you see the trend here. As you move higher, the accuracy increase, the accuracy lower. But if you're low risk, then you compare low risk and high risk. If you have high risk, then you have a higher plus minus. Means that your information is not accurate. When your information not accurate, it consider high risk. Yeah. Okay. So this one you read. You read, There's one term called when you do when you try to mitigate your risk. There's one approach called moving window approach or lowering wave. So these are the steps you do. You try to shift your time accordingly. Your level works accordingly. All right. This one you read. It's a very, very long chart. You just read through what are the process involved. Okay. So in your FYP report or in your project report, you sure will have a flow chart. Check your final report later or next week before you submit. Make sure there is a flow chart there. What is your flow? What is your workflow? What is your workflow from design until the end? And all these are straight arrow. And what use carefully when you have a junction of making decision, you use diamond shape, yes or no. And so on. Okay. Okay, this one you read, this one you read. This one also have 6 steps in risk management process. Just now also got 13, right? Something about uh, plannings. This one is more on the risk management process. There are 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Identification, quantify, priorities, develop strategies, review, and take action. So there are 6 steps. Okay. This one you read through. LCC, life cycle costing. LCC, life cycle costing. Life cycle referring to total cost of the products over its full life. The keyword here, product over its full life for life cycle cost estimation. Means from design until you dispose it. Okay. So these are the costs, R&D, production, construction, operation, maintenance, retirements, or disposal costs, all these things. Okay, life cycle analysis. Okay, so this one can be one question. But anyway, if this one come out, I'll let you know. Okay, it can be one question. So the question can be, he asks you, what are the activities involved in the life cycle costing, LCC? So typical breakdowns, typical breakdowns are what? He will tell you R&D costs, production costs, construction costs, operation costs, and retirement. You need to explain these 6, for example. Okay, so the answer is all these white color sentence. If this kind of question come up, then it will ask you, what will be the benefit of successful application of LCC? This 4. What are the benefit? What are the limitation? 3. Okay, so this one you read through, just read through. Read through. So there's a table there. Have a look. Just have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, we come to the more important parts. More important parts. Which is cash flow. Right? Cash flow, when you manage business or projects, you need to know what is the current value, what is the future value. If you're in properties, then you know this equation. Or you are in the investment, then you know what is this. We use this formula. So $1 today worth more than $1 a year from now. It depends on what currency you're referring to. Some country dropping, some country increasing. For example, Singapore dollar. Singapore dollar compared to Ringgit Malaysia, for example. So the formula will be future value equal to present value bracket 1 plus K power N. So make sure you know how to press your calculator. N is number of years. K is interest rate. K is interest rate. Remember this one, you need to change into decimal place. For example, interest rate is 5%. It will be 0.05. Put inside here. So the bracket will be 1 plus 0.05 if the interest rate is 5%. For 5 years, N will become 5. Present value is it can be ask you this side, it can be ask you this side. It can give you future value, it will ask you what is the present value. If you give you present value, it will ask you what is future value. So these two will be missing. Sometimes it give you this one, sometimes it give you this one and ask you to do simple, what is a type of mathematics? Simple algebra calculation. So there are only 4 parameters we can play around in the question. It can either ask you future value, present value, either ask you interest rate or ask you the number of years to accumulate or to get the future value or present value. Okay, a very simple equation. So it depends on the question. So for example, investment of 1,000 today or present value invested at 10% for 1 year will give us a future value of what? So present value, you put 1,000, K will be 0.1, N will be 1. You press calculator, you get what? You get 1,001. You press calculator. Yeah. If investment, this one another, just to reverse the equation. If investment yield 1,000 a year from now, means it's a future value. All right? So you put your 1,000 here. Then how much it worth today, means present value. If the cost money is 10%. So they tell you that the cost of money is 10%. So 10% also means if you see percentage, it means the interest, the N value, the K value. You put in there, the missing value is a PV or present value. You work back will be less than 1,000, of course. So this is called discounted future values, or another way of you rearrange this equation. PV on the left, FV on the right. You just rearrange the equation. So sometimes the question, just to help you a little bit, it will ask you, use discounted cash flow equation to find the future value, for example. So it means that when we ask you to use a certain way, DCF, it means you use this equation, then you rearrange and get back the answer. It will become like this. This will be the discounted equation form. Okay. It's the same. It's only from the same equation, just rearrange. So if you're calculating EV in product management, is called DCF, discounted cash flow. Yeah. So you put in the value. PV will be 909. What does it mean? It means 1,000 a year from now will fluctuate a year 900 today plus the interest rate. It will worth 1,000 in a year. Okay. So in other way of today words, it means inflation. Inflation means the value in future 1,000. For example, if I take this one, 1,000 next year will be equal to current value of 909. Okay. Yeah. So same lah. So the rest is just a quiz question. We'll ask you like, if you purchase this investment of 875, your interest rate will be how many percent? Okay, means that if you purchase the products or the services 875 today, and you get not reward, and the next year, the value of next year future value become 1,000. What is the interest rate in this scenario? So it will be more than 10%. You use the same equation, you just work back. Nothing complex here, nothing complex here. So this one you read through. So it ask you to make a decision. They give you one scenario, then you use this equation. You tell us what is the best investment. So for example, you choose between the two. Investment A generate 100,000 2 years from now. Investment B will generate 110 3 years from now. If the cost of capital is 15, which investment is better? Okay. Even though the present value is missing, but actually you're comparing two equations. From the equation, you roughly know which one is better. Means you have two equations to look at using this the equation just now or this equation. So you get one or two value to compare. Okay. So for first case, you will get your PV is 75,000 or 76,000. Right? Present value for B will be 72,000. So which one is better? Which investment is better? Okay. How you know is A? How you know is A? But what is your logic behind? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In this module, we have to be specific now. If you say more, how much? If you say better, how? How you prove? You have to give me a certain value to validate your statement. Okay, so you have these two value. So it implies that a return of 1,000 in 2 years worth more than the firm return 3 years from now lah. So this one will make if you take the equation you make some calculation. This one will make more money compared to this one. Okay, these are some business sense. Okay, so project management, there are three triangular, PMI triangular. Business sense is one of it. Technical and leadership. These three triangular PMI triangular. These three skill business sense, leadership, and technical. This is one of the business skill set. All right. Okay. Now once you do this one, there's one more equation. We call it NPV, net present value method, to estimate the initial investment. Just now you only see one cases. What happens if it's more than a few adjusted value? So it will be NPV. This one also memorized. NPV is a sum. This center here is a discounted cash flow, the PV just now. The PV just now. Bracket minus II. II is your capital. How much money you pump in. So what is the difference between the previous one? This one is added one word there, net. Net means you want to know how many money you make at the end. You subtract your capital. You take out your capital, take out your investment. Right? So this is the things. Okay, careless mistakes. I want to highlight. Careless mistake is usually here. I will point out later. I'll give you one example. Just take note. This T, be careful. It will be changing when you do calculation. Yeah. We will use Excel approach. This one will come out in your test 2. Test 2 or final exam. Sure, I'll ask you. So this basically is this from here. So Okay, so this will be the question you see in your final, or maybe okay, in your final. You won't see this one. You won't see. This is your working steps or expected answer. Okay, you read. Assuming initial cash flow of a project is 10,000 invested for a project. So this one is your II, your initial investment, your capital. All right. And substantial, this is subsequent. Subsequent means that there is a time related substantial flow for each year. For each year for 5 years is 3,000. Means it repeat 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000 for 5 years. Like that. Okay. So the discounted rate is assumed to be 10%. Means the K value is 10. 0.1. Calculate the NPV. So what you do if you see this question, in your answer sheet, you build a table like this. You write discounted rate 10%, or to avoid your calculation error, you at the side here, you write 0.1, your side note. But I want to see discounted rate 10%. If you write discounted rate 0.1 wrong, you need to write 10%, but 0.1 is inside your background calculation. Initial investment 10,000. This one you copy from the question. Of course, when it comes to question, we'll change to Ringgit Malaysia. Then we expect you to build this one. You build a table. Okay. If you are rushing, you draw a line. You draw a line. Then on the left-hand side, you write year. On the right-hand side, you write cash flow. Then you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the question is 5 years. If the question says 6, then you add one more. 6 here, then 3,000. This is the template. Use this template to solve. Then you write the equation somewhere in your blank space there. You write this one. You write this equation. You write this equation somewhere in the space there. Then you demonstrate one set calculation. You demonstrate one set calculation how to find this one. How to find this present value. Present value is this equation. Present value is this equation, the one that you calculate just now. You write this equation, you demonstrate one set, how you calculate, how you get the numbers. Demonstrate one set. You don't need to repeat. If you want to repeat also can. It's just like you double check your self answer also can. But I only see the first one. Okay. So when you calculate this value using the formula, the discounted rate equation, this one you don't need to show me. I only want you to show at the side of the sketch. You need to show me the first set, how you do it. Okay. You do one side, your step for the first year. You will get 2,072, 2727.27. Then you do for the second year. Error mistake will be here. Remember to change the number of year become 2, not 1. Understand? Because your 1 is here. The n is 1 here. This one. Okay. P is 1 for the first row. Okay. Then you see what happened to the second one. Okay. Second one, to get year to 2479.34, your t value need to change to 2. Your t value need to change to 2. This one need to change to 3. This one need to change to 4. This one need to change to 5. Not 1. So be careful on that. That is the careless mistakes. Because 1 you calculate wrong, the total one will be wrong. Then the whole question wrong. You only get correct the first one. Okay? So when you get these numbers, you sum. Net, you need to get the sum minus your capital. So sum of all the present value is this column. So you write below here your table. You write net present value formula, or you just write net fair sum. You can write the formula sum of bracket. You can put here equal. Then you get one number. You total all this number. Okay. So you get this one. Right. Okay. The sum of this one. Then you write NPV equal to this one minus initial investment. You take the total minus this one equal 1372.36. It's just a very simple mathematics. Right? Important is you set the template correctly. You just press your calculator. Careless mistake is here, usually. Your time, press correctly. Then you will sum out the value of this one. Then you minus the initial investment. In this case, 10,000. Okay, the next question, after you do this one, what does it mean? What does it mean? If you get positive value, what does it mean? This one, NPV. At the end, sometimes you get negative. Sometimes you get positive. What does it mean? If you get positive, it means you're making money. With this, the decision will be go, will be green light, proceed, select the projects. If you get 0, what does it mean? No making money, no loss. So no point. No point doing this. You spend so many resources, at the end, you just return back to the initial things. Right? So, but of course, for startup company, maybe you are the founders, maybe first year is 0. First year 0 is still not 0. After 5 years, you get 0. You need to consider already whether you still want to continue or not. As a founder, usually you want to see positive value. Okay. Now, if you get comparison, the next example is make comparison. You have 2 companies to compare. Okay. So these are the expected answer. So if you see this one, you roughly know what is happening. It's actually the same presentation. So let's say project A, you know how to find the present value already. I did show you how to do. You add up the value, the total value is 8,000 something. You minus the investment 10,000, you get this value in account. It means negative value. You read balance sheet, you see this bracket form. It means negative value. When you see negative value, it means it's not a good investment. Right? You are losing money. Right? Means you lose your capital. You invest 10,000, at the end, you still lose money. Okay, so I believe you know how to transfer this information into here. It's actually the same. Okay, you transfer this one here, transfer this one here, transfer this one here, and so on. Okay, so summary, this important. This equation is important. This is future value. This is discounted rate, present value. Yeah. So nothing complex. Nothing complex. Okay. So this is just a textbook answer. Like, what do you mean this bracket? It means negative value. Indicate that cash flow discounted to the present will not recover the initial investment. This is when you write report. This is when you write formal report, you just say that based on your analysis, the cash flow discounted to the present will not recover the initial investment. So right? So this is a bad investment to consider. Unless your boss, your sponsor is so rich, he say, never mind lah, we just do it for fun lah, then okay. At least your part as a project manager, you inform the decision maker. Okay, this is the thing lah. Okay, the rest is just things. Okay, this is an important statement every time when it comes to question 3 in final. You, especially section C, you need to make decision. You need to write these 2 statements. If the NPV is greater than, you need to explain what is NPV in the answer. If the net present value is greater than or equal to $0, accept the projects. Then you write the second statement. If the NPV, if the first one you already bracket what is NPV, you don't need to rewrite again. You just write, if the NPV is less than $0, reject the projects. Then you make comparison. Let's say you calculate negative value. You just say, based on the statement above, the project generate negative value, so we reject the projects. This is a complete answer. Okay, especially come to the last section. It asks you to make decision. You calculate so many things, so what? You need to give a decision or conclusion. So when you conclusion, you need to support with the value. Don't just say it's more, it's less, then not complete. The answer not complete. Okay. Okay, so these are 2 important statements. The rest you read lah. I already explained this one. Okay, the second example. Just now is subsequent. I already tell you every year 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Second one, you receive another account report, but every year give you different value. It's still the same. The same template, only the value in the subsequent year changing only. The in this case, we use back this one. Okay, so this one is, it asks you to compare 2 projects. Project A requires investment 1 million, which give you a return of 330,000 each year for 5 years. You generate first template. You generate first template, you write for project A, then you write this template, you prepare this template. Then another half of the question, you draw a line. You prepare for project B. Project B require investment of 75,000, no, 750,000, which give you a return of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the next 5 years. So you prepare another side of table. It's a template. You just need to follow the template. Okay, you write project B, you write discounted rate 10%. Don't write 0.1 here. Write 10%. But in your calculation, you use 0.1. Okay, so these are the differences. I hope you can observe. The next step is the same, using the same formula. Calculate the total present value here, total net cash flow here, or net value, a total present value or discounted value. Get this one. Then you write the equation. How to get the NPV? NPV equal the general equation, substitute value, like what you did in your engineering module. General equation, substitute value, get final answer. NPV equal to 1 answer, whether positive, negative. Here also same. Next step, usually SOP, write the 2 statements that I showed you just now. If NPV what, do what. If NPV what, do what. Write that 2 statements. Okay, these are the things. You do, you get all this value. Project A, you get 1 value, you get positive value. You get B, I already show you the steps. Okay. Project B, repeat the same. Again, careless mistake usually will be 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The n value follow table. The n value inside the equation is 2 for this one, 3 this one, 4 is this one, 5 this one. Don't use 1. Use 1, then all this wrong. Okay. This is very easy to score, also very easy to lose mark if you're not careful. Accuracy will be, if involve money, accuracy will be 2 decimal. So the next one will be 58 something. Okay, I put side by side. How will give marks? This one can be one question. It can be like not one question. It will be like 15 marks, 1 5. This one will be 5 marks. This one will be 5 marks. The conclusion will be another 5 marks. Okay. So let's say you calculate the second one wrong. Third one will be wrong. Fourth will be wrong. Fifth will be wrong. This whole table will be wrong. Total number will be wrong. I only give you maybe 1 mark for general equation and attempt to solve, because the value wrong already. Most probably the first one will correct lah. Okay, same with this one. If this one is 10 marks, 5 marks on the left, 5 marks on the right. If all the value you calculate wrong, sometimes your handwriting, you confuse yourself. Sometimes 7 become 1. Sometimes 5 become 3. Some of you, your handwriting, you know yourself. Some you write 5, you will calculate as 3 one. Yeah, the rest I think okay. 7 become 1 usually. Yeah. So these are the careless mistakes. Okay, so you have 2. One is 137 for project A. One is negative 587. So the question will ask you, which one is better? Calculate the net value, then decide which opportunity is better, should be invested. So you need to justify using the 2 statement there. Okay, so General Electric should go for project A. Why you make the statement? Because it's positive value, go for accept the projects. B, get negative value, reject the projects. What happened? Both project you get negative. Project A you get negative, project B also get negative. What is your decision? What is the decision? Reject. There are only 2 decisions only. Positive, accept, negative, reject. You get negative, reject. What happens if you get 2 project positive? Accept 2 projects, but make recommendation. You say let's say project A, project B, you get positive. Both net NPV is positive. The answer will be accept project A and project B. However, recommendation is whichever higher. Let's say project A make higher than project B. Recommendation will be project A, because it makes more money or generate higher value and a higher NPV value compared to B. This is how you answer the question. Okay. Yeah. So far for this today lecture, this will be the important one. This formula. Just to sum up, let's say you forgot everything. One thing you take home for today is this formula. This formula. And then when you answer, please tell me what is your short form here. When you write this equation, tell me what is your MPV, what is your FV, what is your K, what is your T, what is II. Make a explanation somewhere in your answer, in your solution there. Okay, I think we're almost done. Okay, one more equation. IRR, internal rate of return. Internal rate of return means you calculate the K value. So when you want to calculate the internal rate of return, discount rate will be the same as your initial investment. Means your NPV 0. There will be a case where we purposely set the question, one side of the company will be 0. You calculate, 0. Then the next question will ask about the 0 value. So if you get 0, most probably the next question will ask you about internal rate of return. It will ask you to calculate the K value, the K value. Yeah. So internal rate of return is what? So it's just the question just to ask you whether you understand what is IRR or not. IRR is when this present value, NPV, not NPV, this present value equal to your investment. So when you equal both sides, then you can calculate the IRR, for example. This is just some example for you. What happened? The IRR increase. Okay. So you see, when we change the rate, when you change the rate, let's say IRR 10%, the NPV will change. 20% NPV will change. If it's more than 32%, your NPV will make loss. So the company can make money if the IRR is low. But if you keep increasing the IRR, then you have a risk of loss, losing money. You lose your capital. Okay. But this one again is based on trial and error solution. In your test, you don't have, in your final, you don't have time to try and error. So usually it will be this case 0. Okay, will be 0. So the definition for IRR is this one equal to this one. Which one? Yes. No, the value means IRR. The K value, if your NPV is 0, your K value is actually means it is IRR. You're calculating IRR. It's still the same K value, but it just in the book tabling or your finance report, it means IRR. Or the report will write IRR. It means this K value. It's a finance language lah. It's a finance language. So again, the triangular PMI, business sense is there, technical is there, and technical business leadership. Yeah. So you see, I changed the K to IRR in the equation. I think no more slides, if not mistaken. Financial risk, this one you read lah. So what are the risks commonly in project financing? Project financing, what are the risks? Also there lah. A few there. Financial risk, R&D risk, political risk, organization risk, execution risk. This one. Okay, I think before I go, we just have a very quick quiz. Which one of the following is a valid way of evaluating a financial feasibilities of the projects? Return, net present value, or IRR, or all above? What do you think? A is one of it. The answer is all. Okay. So 3 common classification of system to estimate include all the following except this one is from the slide lah. You can read lah. You read the word you already know already lah. Okay. Most accurate estimate is this one. You look back at the table. It will be engineering estimate. Why engineering estimate is WBS lower one. Usually the engineer, designer, they go for very, very accurate estimation. Okay. Which of the following considered to be bottom-up estimate? Bottom-up estimate and bottom-down estimate, what does it mean? Just now you see the WBS level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bottom-up means from 6 to up estimate. And top-down means from 1 to 6, for example. This is top-down. Which one of the following is considered to be bottom-up estimate rather? So we ask you which one is the bottom-up. Bottom-up will be engineering estimate. You start from bottom, then feedback up. Okay. Which of the following would be considered a cost estimating relationship, CER? Just now got 4, right? 4 type of CER, 4 type. Equation, cost, non-cost, and one more. Yeah, cost something, right? Or learning curve. So the answer is all above. 4 types. Okay. If a worker earns, this one is just some calculation. I won't ask you this one. This is more on the common sense. What is the overhead rate? Okay, this one you go and calculate. Information supplied to a customer to support finance data provided in the proposal is commonly called what? This one you need to know a little bit. So information supplied to a customer information supplied to a customer to support this one is called backup data, or in your report appendix. Right? Estimating pitfall can result from all this. Pitfall means failure. Estimate a failed estimation due to this one. The source of many estimation risk is usually is all above. There are many factors that can this one. A project have a scope evolve as workplace is called either progressive planning or this one. Project where scope evolve. Just now we learned progressive planning and rolling wave planning. Just now we mentioned this one. So this one you read a little bit or you Google a little bit. What is progressive planning and rolling wave planning? How it works? Calculation of total cost of the products from R&D to operation, support, and disposal is called what? This one. Okay. Okay, so we have done chapter 6. Tomorrow we do chapter 7, which is the last chapter.